Okay, so in about 2 minutes, I'm going to try and explain the different rock groups to you, the different types of rocks and how they're made. So I want you to imagine 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth is created and it's a big ball of burning lava. As it gets a bit cooler, it forms a very hard, different types of rock that are full of crystals, really, really hard. And that is called igneous rock. Okay, there's a lump of igneous rock, really hard, really good for buildings because it doesn't wear away. Full of crystals. It's got the hardest known structure to man, which your mums like to wear on their fingers or around their necks, called diamonds. Those are all in igneous rocks, and they're very good for building, so they don't wear away. Pavements and things like that are made out of them. So after a period of time, when we had more atmosphere, there was water on the planet and we had rivers. And in the rivers, there was lots of pieces of rock and sand and animals, bones and things like that. And they'd all flow along in the river. So this is the river flowing along. And the river would slowly drop all these little pieces onto the riverbed. Okay, there you go. And then we get a bit more water flowing along in the nice river and it drops into the riverbed. There you go. And that makes a nice layer there. And eventually that forms into a rock. And then the climate changes. It maybe gets a bit warmer. And so the types of soil and mud and animals that are flowing along in this river change. And so we get a different type of rock. Or sorry, sediments and bits falling into the bottom of the river. And this makes different layers. So now you can see we've got 2 layers of rock. We've got the first layer and then the second. Then the environment changes again. Let's imagine the tectonic plates have moved. We've got tectonic plates now and they've moved, and actually we're now under the sea. So we get different kinds again of water and debris and dust and sand all falling, and we get a different type of rock forming. Okay, and you can see there we've got different layers of rock. Now this rock here, so we've got all our different layers. This is now called a sedimentary rock. This is really soft. It's good for drawing on blackboards such as chalk. It's good for people use it a lot to carve different things, make bricks for houses because it was easy to use, but does wear away. Look at sort of sandstone buildings. We have lots of those around Banbury. So this is the sedimentary rock. Now, over time, the sedimentary rock, the tectonic plates move. This rock gets deeper and deeper under earth, under more and more rock, and it gets more pressure on it. As it gets deeper, it gets warmer. Maybe the tectonic plates move and it gets a bit of lava coming into it. Maybe a bit of igneous rock forces its way up from a little volcano. And there we go, that's all together. So a bit of igneous rock goes in, forces its way into the sedimentary rock. And this pressure builds and builds, it gets warmer, which makes the rock more malleable, meaning it's more squidgy and soft. And it gets pushed together, push, push, push. More pressure, more heat, pressure and heat, pressure and heat, pressure and heat. And it all kind of gets squidged together. And suddenly, we've got a completely new type of rock formed by heat and pressure. And that is metamorphic rock. Okay, and you've got all the different types of rock in there, making a completely new rock. Now these rocks can be pretty hard, and they also can be quite pretty. You can see there's lots of different colours and veins and crystals in there. So they're actually used for sculpting, such as marble. But like I said, also quite hard, but also because they're made of bits of rock, they can be quite easily fragmented off. So they're good for making things like slate, tiles. So lots of different uses. So you've got your soft sedimentary rock made up out of river deposits like dust, sand, mud. You've got your very hard igneous rock that comes from magma and lava forcing its way up. And then you've got the mixed up, mashed metamorphic rock that can be pretty and hard and useful. And that is made from heat and pressure. Right, more than 2 minutes, 4 minutes and 43 seconds. But hopefully that's taught you a little bit about the 3 types of rock and how they are made.